I want to talk to you about fingerprint evidence, and I'm using air quotes because this stuff is not scientific evidence the way it's often presented. You'll watch a TV show, and what will they say? They'll say, "We've got a match," right? "We've got a match." You can't say that in court. This stuff is not as scientific as they've led you to believe it is. We here in Florida, if myself as a criminal defense attorney ever hears a fingerprint expert say, "We have a match," we are going to have some problems. I will probably move in limine before the fingerprint examiner even testifies to explain that I don't think they can use the terminology match. I don't even think they can use the terminology identification. And here's why. Because the science on fingerprints is, like all science, it's a probability science. I hate to break it to you, but really when physics gets all the way down to the core, there's a lot more probability going on than what we think. And this is particularly true of fingerprints, where you have comparisons of ridges and loops and up loops and down and blah, blah, blah. But the idea is you might have 170, 180 different unique features on your fingerprint, but when they say that they've matched the print, they've probably only matched about 12 or 16 of those unique characteristics. They haven't gone all the way and said this is definite. And that has created problems because you can just Google fingerprint mismatch and people have been arrested and accused of heinous crimes. And people have been let out of jail because this stuff doesn't work like they claim. Now, I am not suggesting we have a Daubert standard here in Florida for the admissibility of scientific evidence. Now, this stuff is admissible. I want to be clear, fingerprints are admissible, but we defense attorneys get to say and get to call them out and say, well, how much testimony, how much of this is admissible? And what I'm saying is not as much as you might think, not as much as what you're going to see on TV. If I get my way, and I should, no fingerprint examiner can say they have a match. No fingerprint examiner can say we have an identification. I would say the best they can do is, look, I have examined Exhibit A and I have examined the prints provided by the defendant, and I can say that they share some unique characteristics, but I cannot say scientifically how many other people in the population might have these characteristics. Now, when you think of DNA matches, this is exactly what we're talking about. In a DNA situation, again, even a DNA scientist would not be able to say we have a match. The best a DNA person can do is they actually have statistics. I give them credit for that. And they can say only 1 in 7 billion people would have this DNA pattern. Great. Guess what? In fingerprints, they can't say that. They've done some studies where they've actually found hundreds of people having this exact same prints, so to speak. So there are lots of problems with fingerprints. The alarm bells go off in my mind, in any criminal defense attorney's mind, when you see fingerprint evidence and we start chopping away at that and we start making sure that they don't make too much of a science that is still not much of a science yet, because they have no numbers to back it up. DNA at least has some numbers to back it up, but they still continue to try to testify that this is a match, this is an identification. Heck no, don't let them do that. They are not allowed to do that. There's not enough science to say that these are matches. There's not enough science to say there's an identification here. And you got to stop them from saying that.